I used
Do you like
to
Survivor?
No, not really. I like the early stuff. I like the really rhythmic vocal
When
stuff.
it was 4, not 3 in Destiny's Child, is that that's the phase?
We were all disappointed. I'm sorry to be crass, but we were all disappointed to note that when you flush the toilet, it doesn't, as
That
Britons
Simpsons
are given to
episode.
understand, go backwards. Yeah, that Simpsons episode.
They lied to
was,
us. What a
was
shame.
the only cultural preconception we had.
The first album, so we already had a relationship with him,
Yeah,
and he did a good job of that one.
yeah.
So we just thought, instead of wasting our time trying to struggle through loads of different people, we just thought it worked the first time, so let's not do that relationship
And he
all over
kind
again
of-
with someone new.
He kind of had the same goals in terms of development for this record as we did. He knew where we should be going, and so did we, and we seemed to agree on that. We sort of had unfinished business from the first album, I think. 5 years ago, there was the idea that only bands in Manchester would look and sound like Oasis or the Stone Roses, and they're great bands, but that the national, international media conception of that, that perception hadn't really shifted for whatever
We were
reason.
only concerned with that. Everywhere we went, anyone who spoke to us would say, why don't you sound like
Why
it?
aren't you all wearing
Why do you
parkas?"
hate Oasis?
Yeah,
Oh,
which we
no.
don't.
What are you talking about? You know,
Blasphemy kind of a thing. Right?
yeah,
And then
it
there
just
was-
didn't make any sense.
There was also the Libertines thing and Raise Light and all that stuff in like 2005-ish, which we just wanted to do something different from.
Really didn't speak to us at all as individuals, and but you know, it's all moved on now. We're old hat now.
I think just only for us, because when we were 18, 19, it was a very fresh sound. Speaking personally, growing up in sort of village in Northumberland, hearing that music was a very sort of vital, vibrant sound.
And it's exotic to us as well, as English boys. It seemed really exciting, as you were saying.
It's the other.
It's the other, exactly. And there's no doubt that we definitely interpreted their music in a different way to the way we did, say, Nirvana or the Beatles, where you bought everything and you know it all back to front and you learn how to play the songs. With Destiny's Child, we're really talking about a handful of singles, but it's the approach.
If they've ever watched us on YouTube, it's something similar to that. But if they haven't, it's sort of like the albums, but much more exciting.
We forced ourselves now to actually kind of have 5 seconds where we all just kind of embrace about 5 seconds before we
Like
go
a
on.
huddle kind of
Yeah,
thing?
and all the sort of transgressions of the day.
It's very English and awkward.
It is very,
Yeah.
No one's
No,
in it.
no,
It's kind of like an episode of In-Betweeners.
everyone's sort of just going,
5 seconds of silence before we go
Do
on.
we just touch or...
It's amazingly helpful doing that, I think.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, then we run the risk of not communicating at all before we go on. So it's good to do that.
People in 1700 might know this, but I love the idea of twerking. I don't know if you've heard of this craze.
No.
no.
Twerking. Now, I just thought that I wanted to ask because you have R&B sort of influence and the sort of sprinkler hats, like on Cough Cough, and twerking would go great with it. And it's like a fad that Miley Cyrus has been praised by
Is it a
Jay-Z.
dance craze?
Like
Dance move.
it's a dance.
Right,
I
yeah.
could probably show it.
Go on. I can do that
Thank
now.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.